with a view to foster housing schemes and urban development.
Situation in our cities and towns, especially Serekunda and Brikama, are growing in a discontinuous, scattered and low density, which is not sustainable. Due to the lack of appropriate urban planning, these cities and towns are expanding to endless peripheries. These cities are with very low residential densities.
At a national level, we need to push for a holistic city development, climate action plans and implementation strategy to look at human settlement and urbanization process in order to minimize the number of people who are living in slum conditions in Ibo Town, Kutukware, Tobacco Road noticeably.
The National Habitat Committee on Housing and Urban Development, now armed with a mandate to strengthen their national services, are said to be closely monitored for better performance in urban planning.
Gambia is very small. We all know who are the ones delivering. We all know who are the ones who are not working.
Babukar Kamara, GRTS.
A number of top international musicians have arrived in the Gambia in time for the official opening of the 11th edition of the International Roots Homecoming Festival. Earlier today, two members of the organizing committee of the Roots Festival, Lamin Kamara and Tombong Sedi, update GRTS on the arrival of leading names in international music, among them Mutabaruka and others.
We are pleased to inform you that we have the arrival of the guests from diaspora. People like Matubaruka with Dr. Rashid and Dr. Gavi. This is no speculation. This is live and direct at the Independence Stadium. We'll have the other guests arriving by 10 p.m. tonight. So we're expecting all the Gambians to come in their large numbers to make it reality. This is for you, live and direct in the Gambia. The ticketing aspect will be mentioned by my colleague, Mr. Sedi, who will tell you how it will run down at the Independence Stadium. I thank you all. Welcome to you all.
Thank you, Mr. Kamara. Like he said, the Roots Festival have started honestly. Tomorrow is the musical jamboree. And now we'll be having Mutabaruka there, Scratchulos and Princess, Sizzla, our own Jaliba Kuyate, and many other Gambian artists. The tickets are set and ready, so everybody should start going to the stadium tomorrow 9 o'clock in the morning to start purchasing the tickets. We don't want to have long lines, long queues there for the entrance. So we urge everybody to go early and get their tickets so that they will get in without much of a hustle. Again, tomorrow is the beginning and the big musical jamboree with Mutabaruka, Sizzla, and all the Jaliba Kuyate and all the other international artists. I hope all of you will be there and start to kick off the Roots Festival. Thank you.
Station.
Gambia, Domane, Bentum Reume Ote, the Gambia Radio and Television Services, GRTS. GRTS Staff Association, King His Excellency the President, Chef Professor Al-Haji Dr. Yahya AJJ Jame, no fast Kene Sumbu, Tingadlum Banquet Dinner, a grand dance with a difference. Bufikeja Amsufi Muse Amsach, on the 23rd of May, and on the 24th of May 2014, Setiki Penchami Hall, featuring the now happening Queen of Malach, Titi Safnepa, Titi, Tamane Titi, You've never seen her on stage like this before. Titi, by popular demand. Nipadi Joy Mostoli, Anak Aindanan artist Fiji Rumi. Tickets, Gala, Platinum, $60,000. Diamond, $50,000. Gold, $40,000. And the individual, $1,000. Grand dance ticket, $500 and $300 flat. For all reservations, please call 999 091-1992 365-5518 203-1850 682-9536 suñu réew Gambia.
Welcome back. Well, less than 48 hours after the arrival of the first cohort of guests for this year's International Roots Homecoming Festival from the diaspora, other personalities such as Dr. Julius Garvey, Yewande Austin of Change Rocks Foundation, Dr. Rukono Rashidi, and renowned Jamaican poet Mutabaruka have also jetted into Banjul. Mutabaruka is acclaimed for his unique poetry, which centers mainly on African continent's history and cultural identity. Well, now we go to the international news. International teams are arriving in the Nigerian capital, Abuja, to aid in the search for more than 200 schoolgirls. Boko Haram militants seized the girls from their dormitories on April 14. Some of the girls have managed to escape. CFI has details on that story.
It's the first time in Africa that a country other than Nigeria is hosting a mobilization event against the abduction of the 234 schoolgirls in Chibok. In Niamey, Niger, dozens of men and women got together to denounce both the kidnappings and the silence of ECOWAS and the African Union over the fate of these young Nigerians abducted more than 3 weeks ago. The women in Niger addressed a message to the United Nations.
Nous, femmes de la société civile nigérienne,
we, women from civil society in Niger, are asking the United Nations Security Council to bring this case to the International Criminal Court so that all leaders of Boko Haram are charged with crimes against humanity. On a world scale, mobilization around the Nigerian schoolgirls is getting stronger and stronger. In the UK, Nigeria's former colonial power, hundreds took to the streets to demand the release of the kidnapped girls. The demonstration took place in London 24 hours after American movie star Angelina Jolie launched a call while she was on a visit to the British capital to present her new film.
The important thing, though, is that we understand that this happened because these men feel that they can get away with this and they can do this, because there have been too many examples of the past where there is so much impunity.
Other than celebrities, including Bob Geldorf, many organizations representing Muslims are denouncing the kidnapping of the Nigerian schoolgirls, and they are launching a call to the authorities across the world.
My organization strongly urges the immediate use of any and all resources possible to locate all of the schoolgirls that remain in captivity and grant them safe passage in returning home to their loved ones.
In Nigeria itself, demonstrations continue. On Friday in Lagos, hundreds demanded one more time that the authorities help bring back the girls to their families. And for the first time, the names of the 234 schoolgirls were made public.
we are releasing the names. We're hoping that when they release the pictures, we can come out, because we want people to be aware that they're not just statistics or some faceless people. No, they are children.
Intensifying mobilization in Nigeria has led to one concrete result: the implication of the Western powers in the search for the 234 schoolgirls. In this context, dozens of military and other experts from the US and the UK have already arrived in Nigeria.
South Sudanese President Salva Kiir and rebel leader Riek Machar are holding talks in the Ethiopian capital, Addis Ababa, to negotiate an end to the civil war. The talks are intended to speed up the process of reconciliation and put a stop to the ethnic war ravaging the country. We have more in this story by CFI, which looks at the UN report, which blames both sides for crimes against humanity.
Of South Sudan, Salva Kiir arrived in the Ethiopian capital Friday to hold direct talks with rebel chief Riek Machar. The meeting is aimed at stemming almost 5 months of bloodshed. Kiir and Machar have been under intense international pressure to find a solution. During their talks, the two men will discuss power sharing, but President Kiir said it is out of the question for him to give up power. There is hope the meeting will bring peace and allow full implementation of the ceasefire agreement, which has not yet been applied since it was signed in January.
It will speed up the processes of reconciliation, because what will happen is that fighting must stop. that this bleeding must stop. That is the priority. And number two, that there should be a sense for humanitarian assistance to those who are affected.